So this is kind of a miracle. It actually fits, and it fits really well, and might be my best thing ever.
Hey everyone, welcome back to a Handmade Journal. I'm Heather, and today I'm sewing the brand new Collins dress and top from Friday Pattern Company. This one's their newest release, and it's so pretty. Simple lines, modern shape, and a super quick make. Only 4 pattern pieces. There's a front, a back, and then a front and back again for the shelf bra or lining. If you've been following along with my 90-day handmade wardrobe challenge, you know I've been on a mission to make clothes that actually fit my life. Comfy for working from home, easy to style, but still cute enough to wear out. And let's just say I wasn't planning on breaking the rules again, but I did. The last couple of knit projects didn't exactly go as planned. I've had stretched out necklines and a really wonky hem. So when I decided to try the Collins dress in a knit that wasn't even on the recommended list, it felt like I had 2 voices in my head. One was saying, "Go for it, what's the worst that could happen?" And the other was clutching her pearls in absolute horror. The pattern calls for light to medium weight knits like cotton jersey, bamboo, or rib knit, but I had this sweater knit sitting in my stash that I couldn't stop thinking about. It's soft, cozy, and has this really pretty texture that just screamed fall layering piece. So I went for it. It could have gone horribly wrong, but this might be my favorite make yet. I cut this using my projector setup, which only projects about 2 feet by 43 inches. So I had to shift the projection partway through. And every time I do that, I hold my breath, hoping the pieces actually line up when I sew them together. And it was totally fine this time. But right after cutting, I immediately had regrets. This fabric doesn't have a ton of stretch, and I was convinced it was going to end up way too tight. I could just picture myself halfway into it, arms stuck, regretting all my life choices. Before cutting, I graded the pattern digitally in Adobe Illustrator. So I went from a medium at the bust to a large at the waist. And that's actually one of my favorite parts about using a projector setup. I could make all my size adjustments directly in the file. But even after that, I was still worried the fit might be off because of how stable the sweater knit was. I also tried to get clever and keep the wavy ruffle detail that ran along the fabric's selvage. I cut the dress extra long to take advantage of it, but it really just would have been unwearable that way. The proportions weren't working, and so I ended up trimming it back to just above the ankle. And I'm so glad I did, because the shorter length really balanced the dress out. I don't need to be swanning around in like a dress that's dragging on the floor. Once I started sewing, things went surprisingly smoothly. I serged the shoulder seams first. I didn't even baste them. I just trusted my cutting and went for it. Then I used my sewing machine with a zigzag stitch for the rest of the seams and went back over the inside with the serger for a clean finish. And I actually really like how clean the inside is. It came together so fast. I might have spent more time rethreading my serger after breaking a needle than I did actually sewing the dress. I did skip a few steps that are supposed to stabilize things. You're supposed to add elastic in the shoulder seams, neckline, and at the bottom of the shelf bra. I did not do that. I had my reasons at the time. I hope I don't regret it. I think at the moment the shape is holding beautifully. We'll see what happens after a few washes, so you can ask me later how it's going. After sewing, I did wash where I had marked the fabric with my water erasable blue pen markings. And of course, classic me, when I was trying it on and doing the reveal shots, I didn't notice that one of the marks hadn't dried yet, so there's a little wet spot there. Even with all my rule breaking though, this turned out to be one of my absolute favorite makes. I love it. The drape, the shape, the simplicity. It's just one of those projects that feels effortless but looks polished. It's totally something I would go buy and actually spend good money on. I tried wearing it with flats, heels, a gold belt that I have, and I even added a little long strip of leftover fabric from the dress and tied it around my waist as a belt, which looks so good that I might just make a real one. I even think I have enough fabric left to make a matching cardigan, which I'm really tempted to do because the sweater knit is so soft. It feels like a cozy fall uniform waiting to happen.
So this is kind of a miracle. It actually fits, and it fits really well, and might be my best thing ever. I love it. It is, you're supposed to attach elastic on the shelf bra. I'm not gonna do that because it's already a very good fit for me because there's so little stretch in this. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna finish it with the serger and then finish the side seams. And yeah, I actually like where the hem is. I'd cut off a number of inches after, cutting it and it just being way too long. I think the hem is a good length, so I'll just turn it up a little bit. Probably use the double needle for that. But I think it's a winner. Yay! So excited. So here's the outside of it. I've gone and pressed all the seams. I finished with the serger all the seams that hadn't been finished yet. I did just a little fold over hem, so I serged the hem and then just folded it over once, pressed it, and then used the double needle on my sewing machine. And I think that turned out really nice. I thought it might do a little tunneling because sometimes it does that if the fabric's not thick enough. But for this, it was just, I think, quite perfect. Looks really nice. And then I'm gonna show you the inside. So I just had gone through and serged all the seams, like I said, for the most part. So this is it inside. Looks good inside too. I think I would have liked to have changed out so I have 2 black threads and 2 brown threads. The brown threads are in the needles and the black threads are on the other parts, I guess the loopers in the serger, whatever it is. I think it would have been kind of nice to have a brown all the way through or taupe or something. I don't really have that. Or I could have gone maybe with a different color. But still it looks professional. No one would know that I made this. No one's gonna know. It's gonna be hilarious in my mind. But I think, yeah, it turned out lovely, and I couldn't have hoped for, a better project. So yay, recommend it. I'd like to go right now and make a bunch more and other fabric I have. I think the fit's gonna be different because they are stretchier, so that'll be interesting. Or even just make some tops. But I think I'm out of time for today, so that might be a project for tomorrow or the next day.
I wouldn't say that the Collins dress pattern surprised me that it could look so cute. I was just surprised that me going off script and using a different fabric actually worked. It looks so good. It's simple, flattering, and the pattern itself is very fun to sew. And after my last couple of knit disasters, it really feels like redemption, and I can do this. I'm good at sewing sometimes. This make is also part of my 90-day handmade wardrobe challenge, where I'm sewing my entire wardrobe from scratch. Every piece I make gets me a little closer to a closet that feels like me. And today that was cozy, creative, and handmade. If you're new here, I'd love for you to subscribe and follow along. I post new videos every week with sewing projects, pattern reviews, and the occasional happy accident. You can find links to the Collins dress pattern and the supplies I used in the description below, along with a few of my favorite sewing tools. If you've ever ignored fabric recommendations and somehow made it work, I want to hear about it in the comments. Maybe we'll start a little rule breaker sewist club. Thanks so much for watching A Handmade Journal. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your favorite sewing buddy. See you next time.